Good morning everyone. In this video we're going to revise the events and quotations from chapter 3, Dr Jekyll was quite at ease, in Robert Louis Stevenson's The Strange Case of Dr Jekyll and Mr Hyde. Let's get started. Now 2 weeks have passed since the events of chapter 2 where Mr Utterson met Mr Hyde, and Dr Jekyll throws a dinner party to a few old cronies, all intelligent, reputable men. And this is the first time in the novel that we've met Dr Jekyll, and he's described as a large, well-made, smooth-faced man of 50, with something of a slyish cast perhaps. The Doctor has a sincere and warm affection for Mr Utterson, and after all of the other guests leave, Utterson stays behind to speak to Jekyll. Dr Jekyll says that he never saw a man so distressed by his will as Utterson. He then talks about their other friend, Dr Lanyon, who he describes as a hide-bound pedant who disapproves of Jekyll's scientific heresies. An ignorant, blatant pedant. I was never more disappointed in any man than Lanyon. Mr Utterson ignores the rant about Dr Lanyon and goes back to the topic of Dr Jekyll's will. He suspects there is something dodgy going on. Maybe that Mr Hyde is blackmailing Dr Jekyll, and says that he has been learning something of young Hyde. With this, the large, handsome face of Dr Jekyll grew pale to the very lips, and there came a blackness about his eyes. Jekyll insists that Utterson cannot understand his position. It's a very strange one. Utterson tries to help Jekyll out. He says, "I am a man to be trusted. Make a clean breast of this in confidence, and I make no doubt that I can get you out of it." Jekyll says that he'd trust Utterson before any man alive, even more than himself, but that Utterson should rest easy, because the moment Jekyll chooses, he can be rid of Mr Hyde, so Utterson should just forget about the matter. Jekyll tells Utterson that he takes a very great interest in that young man, talking about Hyde. He makes Utterson promise that should anything happen to Dr Jekyll, Utterson should help Mr Hyde and get his rights for him. Jekyll then repeats that Utterson should do this when Jekyll is no longer here. Quite a foreboding statement. Utterson then gives in. He says he can't promise to like Mr Hyde, but he does promise to look out for Hyde. And that's everything for chapter 3. Dr Jekyll was quite at ease.